Well, we certainly, I think, have had a number of successes in changing the mindset on the IDA development and what it should be doing. One thing that we realized is we had an IDA system that was broken. It was dysfunctional. 6 IDAs that basically were competing for the same businesses in our county rather than going out and trying to bring in new businesses to this community. And what we were seeing recently, especially among some of the suburban IDAs, were the attempts of basically not even saying we're going to do the right thing, we're just going to poach a business from one community to the next, or we're going to give tax breaks to businesses that really aren't generating jobs or, for that matter, much economic activity. So what we wanted to do was change the mindset on that. I was working with Assemblyman Sean Ryan to introduce legislation, which is not passed because we do not have a Senate sponsor. We're still pushing that. We're hopeful that we'll be able to get a Senate sponsor. But in the end, we have changed the mindset and changed the policies of some of these organizations, which agree that we cannot continue down this road of 6 IDAs in a community our size. New York City only has 1. Monroe County has 2, but one of them is for a village. So when we're continuing this cycle of a broken economic development system, and it's not generating new jobs, truthfully, it's just giving tax breaks. It's not for the benefit of the community. What we've been pushing, what I truthfully have been pushing on the Erie County Industrial Development Agency Board, and if we're going to give tax breaks, we want to see the true economic development that results of it. I'm not against tax breaks, and too many businessmen said, oh, you just don't want to give out tax breaks. I said, I'll give out tax breaks for legitimate projects. I'm not going to give a tax break just so a developer can make more money on a project, and that's the key. Is that if they're generating new jobs, if they're generating new economic activity, well, that's a good thing. If it's just stirring the pot around and there's no new economic activity, but a developer or a business owner is just going to make greater profit because they get a tax break, that's not a good enough reason.
A project that is already profitable, which they would do in any case.
Correct. I have and try to ascribe to the but-for test. But for the provision of these tax breaks, will the project go forward? I'll give you a good example of that on the renovation of the Donovan building. We rejected a number of the tax breaks that were sought by Benderson Development because, number one, they were going to move forward with the project anyway. Number two, they were going to generate a substantial profit. The question was, it just wasn't to their normal degree of generation, as if they were doing a project, a strip mall in a suburban area as compared to this large building in downtown Buffalo. And my argument was, well, of course, I want to see you generate a profit, but we're not here to making certain that you generate the largest profit that you can make. And so we ended up basically coming to an agreement in which we would provide some tax breaks, but very limited ones. They're not getting property tax breaks from Erie County. They did not get any property tax breaks sales tax breaks with regards to work that was being done inside the building. Basically, what they were paying for renovating the shell of the building, they got sales tax breaks for, but none of the interior work, so we weren't basically subsidizing the moving of a law firm or the creation of a hotel. We gave them sales tax breaks basically to do the shell of the building, and after that, they had to pay sales tax on the rest. It was a good agreement in the end because it helps move the project along, but it doesn't guarantee going forward that they get the best and biggest profit line they can get. Those are the kind of things we're doing moving forward. We're not just handing a blank check out. We're saying if you want some money from the government, and which in the end is the people, you have to justify that this is a good investment for the people.